Some crafty bastard buys a can of dip and takes it home. There, he carefully cuts the seam, removes the dip, and places it in an old container. He doesn't want his new container's label getting all messed up with use. He then packs the can with dirt until he gets the weight correct. Maybe he wings it, maybe he uses a digital scale. But there's a problem. He has the correct weight, but a crap ton of empty space for the dirt to shake around in. So, he fills the rest of the can up with toilet paper. Replacing the lid, he makes sure to line up the design in order to minimize the chances of a cashier noticing that the seal has been broken. With stage 1 complete, he heads back to the store. "Let me get a can of brand X wintergreen long cut," he asks. Once the new can is in his possession, he makes the switch. He then says, "Oh crap, I forgot my wallet at home," and returns the open can. He now has free dip and another can to repeat the theft with. Next time, he'll probably go to a different store in order to avoid arousing suspicion. Finally, I buy the can, go home, and notice that the seal is broken. I open it to investigate and smile when I realize what I'm looking at. You know what? I think I know what I want to do my next video on. So I used to have a friend who was a con artist. Now, this was back between the ages of 10 and 18, so he was still small time, but he was definitely a con artist and a crafty little thief. A story might give some indication as to the type of person he was, but I better change the names of the involved parties. So let's call my friend Sam and his victim Mark. So Sam somehow conned Mark. I don't remember the con, and it's not important. What's interesting is what happened afterwards. Somehow Mark realized that he had been conned, so he starts telling people that he's going to kick Sam's ass. Sam finds out and says, "Whatever, we'll see how he likes my butterfly knife." Fast forward a few minutes, and he gets another call. Turns out Mark found out about the knife, and now he's bringing a hammer to school. Sam decides that he needs a new plan, but this time he doesn't tell anyone, including me. The next day, everyone shows up to school, including the cops. They search Mark's backpack and find the hammer. Mark tells them that Sam has a knife, but they find nothing when they search him. They still arrest Mark, however, and he gets suspended. Meanwhile, Sam goes about his business with $50 extra in his pocket. Why? Because he had called Crime Stoppers with the tip about a kid having a weapon at school. Yeah, my friend was a piece of work. He was constantly trying to get over on everyone. I'd be lying, however, if I didn't say that teenage me liked Sam a lot. He was fun to be around. He could talk to girls, he was constantly taking me on adventures, and he was like a supercharged Red. He wasn't just a man who could get you things. He'd get you things that you didn't even know you wanted until he got them for you. Porn, beer, a literal box of fortune cookies. But everything wasn't all sunshine and roses. Fortunately, he never got me into any serious trouble. I mean, the man could walk out of a gulag with a fistful of rubles. But if that wasn't the issue, then what was? So there was this British show called Hustle. It was entertaining, but I have to raise the bullshit flag on one of its major themes. In the show, the con men repeatedly assert that someone has to be greedy in order to be conned. I'm sure the writers put it in so that the audience can sympathize with the main characters. I mean, people probably won't like them as much if they were stealing Social Security checks from sweet but confused little old ladies. There may be real-life con men who follow such codes. Doing so would allow them to justify their crimes and allow them to sleep at night, but greed is not a necessary condition for being conned. Some con men do indeed exploit greed, but others exploit easily confused senior citizens, and some will exploit love, friendship, concern, and sympathy. My friend was a man without compunction. He conned and stole from everyone, including his mom and his sister, and including me. I don't know why I thought he wouldn't target me. I mean, I should have known the first time he told me that he conned his sister out of some money, but it took me an embarrassing long time to figure it out. He had stolen something small from me, and I was angry for a brief moment, but then it hit me like a ton of bricks. I started going through various past interactions in my mind, except now I knew that no one, not even me, was off limits for his scamming and thievery. Not only had he stolen from and conned me, but he had used my concern for his safety and well-being to perpetrate his biggest con on me. I wonder how much he had rehearsed, how he had probably planned out responses to questions that I might have asked, and how tickled he probably was when I handed over damn near an entire summer's worth of wages after about 2 minutes of him talking. What can I say? He was my friend. I couldn't let anything bad happen to him. Our friendship ended that day. He was the first friend that I had made after we had moved and I had left all my old friends behind. 8 years of fun and firsts and adventures, and in the space of a few hours, all my memories of him became stained with suspicion. I couldn't tell what was true, when he was being genuine, and when he was manipulating me to get what he wanted. 8 years of friendship turned sour in a moment. But that happened a long time ago. My first reaction when I opened that can of dip was to smile and think of him. I honestly believe he cared for me. Hell, he may have even loved me. But for some damn reason, he just could not help himself. He felt compelled to steal and con anything and everything from anyone and everyone. I don't know why. It certainly wasn't because he needed to. Was it for the rush? Did he enjoy being able to manipulate people or situations to his desire? Who knows? But I do know that the whole experience has had an effect on me. You can do whatever you want, but this is where I personally draw the line. Oh, and by the way, exploiting friendship doesn't require skill. It's pretty easy to exploit friends and family. Hell, just ask your nearest recovering alcoholic or addict. Non-functioning addicts who are falling apart at the seams can still do it. So it doesn't make you smart or crafty. It just means that you're willing to sink lower than most other people would. Now, before you break your fingers downvoting this video, hear me out. I am not anti-scamming and Eve, or anti-ganking, ninja looting, can flipping, or anything like that. But I do think it's pretty low to betray people who think that you're their friend, especially considering the personal harm that you can do and what you get out of it. Let me elaborate with one final story. If after you hear it, you still want to downvote this video, or tell me in creative ways that I'm a man-shaped vagina that should go play Hello Kitty online, then feel free to do so. But hear me out first. So, I used to be in a corp called Yumping Amok. They had lost members in a move, leadership was burnt out, and other members weren't logging in a lot. But the corp had a laid-back atmosphere with some friendly people in it, so I liked it. I mean, I had thought about leaving myself, but I stayed for the friends and the atmosphere. Anyway, we were already struggling with low member activity when we decided to promote a helpful jump freighter pilot to director. Well, you can probably already see where this is going. He robbed the corp and several members with courier contracts and then biomassed. We decided that that would be the final nail in the coffin and to go ahead and tell members that they should start making arrangements for Yumping's closing. Anyway, I wasn't angry at first. I really wasn't. I thought, well, that's the nature of the game being played. But then I started thinking about it. He had willingly betrayed our friendship and our community for things that aren't even real. The things that he stole are a bunch of ones and zeros on a hard drive. On the other hand, our community, corp culture, and our friendships, they were real. They mattered to people. They were things that people cared about in real life. To me, at least, friendship and community transcends ones and zeros and asset calculators, game mechanics, and EULAs. And he ensured the destruction of our real-life community for make-believe spaceships. Me, I'm a recovering alcoholic. I've caused immeasurable pain to friends, family, acquaintances, and even strangers. Hell, I used to pick fights with strangers with the sole intent of sharing my pain with them. I didn't even try to win. I just tried to inflict as much pain as I possibly could. Personally, I'm reminded of Denzel Washington at the end of Flight. I've reached my lifetime limit on causing other people pain. So, I choose to treat other players with dignity and respect, and I choose not to betray friendships. There's no section of the EULA that says I have to do that. That's just what I choose to do. You have a remarkable degree of freedom in how you can interact with other players in EVE. What will you choose to do?